just followed heart up. See, this was internal mammary. You guys see just these really fine 3 arteries. Probably 1, 2, and then this. It's kind of weird because it branches, but that would be your VCT there, the 3. I doubt they will ask the VCT on this. They'll ask it on the CAT because it's more obvious. Okay, one more picture like this. For the neck region, this one always scares people, so I'm going to show you now so you're not scared. If you see it, it'll be a breeze to you. This is a picture of just the neck specifically. So right here would be the windpipe, also called trachea. This is the medial side. You see those C rings of hyaline cartilage like we learned in 250? Okay. And the neck's been peeled back. You can see just the ears right up here. And this huge long pipe in red is an artery. Anybody have a guess what it is? Common carotid. Yep. And this is actually the cat's left side. So this is left common carotid. We probably won't ask you that. We'll just say is on common carotid. Okay, so here's a couple that you can say. Describe where they are on your cat, even if you can't exactly see it. Maybe the fur hasn't been pulled away or something. You can say, in theory, this is where they would be. So that's why I want to show it to you. Coming off common carotid, you have this branch that is going to the thyroid gland. You just barely see it here, in like the pink. That's superior thyroid artery. So there's an extra freebie you can name. It's going straight to the thyroid. We all know thyroid sits on top of the airway. Now this one that's coming up the neck, also going towards like thyroid region, that should be thyrocervical. So that's our VCT. That's the T part of VCT. So if you want to throw that out there, you can say that. Now keep going off of common carotid, and we're going up superior. You're going to have this huge branch going up this way to the tongue. So the tip of the orange arrow number 1 is on lingual. Anytime you see lingual, you need to think that tongue. Tongue. Okay, so lingual artery there. Coming off of common carotid, there's this like pink one that dives deep. And I know they've tagged it before. This is another picture. See how they tagged it, number 2 here. That is internal carotid artery. So you have the common, and it's hard to see. I want you guys to look at it later, take pictures. Internal carotid is different than this big turn right there is external carotid artery. Same as if you see that circle of Willis model, and internal's diving deep, external's going out that way. It's the same. So I always wrote down, when you see that big turn, it's common carotid artery turning into external. And then that's going to go ahead and branch again into anterior and posterior facial, and then branch again into anterior, posterior auricular. So there's some more you can say there, even if you can't really see it because the ear is covered. It's perfectly game. I'm pretty sure this one coming up, number 3, is going to the temporal region on the side, so it'd be superficial temporal artery. Okay, so starting up, we said this was common carotid all the way up. When it branches deep, it's internal carotid. When you have that big turn, it's external carotid. Then can further go into anterior, posterior facial, and anterior, posterior auriculars, superficial temporal, and this one going to tongue would be lingual. An extra freebie would be superior thyroid artery and thyrocervical. Okay, so if you see that, you should be alright. But I don't want it to scare you. So I think head and neck, like you can try to have a good understanding before you look at the cat, but the best way is just we're going to open the cat and look at it. So, but abdominal region is a little bit easier in theory. kidneys and ureters down here, and then a little bit of colon and bladder. So the cat is laying, this is the belly side up, where this is the back here, but you're looking at the ventral, just how the cats are right now, how they kind of lay on their back, looking at you. Okay, so when we're going to do the abdomen, this region, top down. So from superior down to inferior. And I would say do that every time. Don't go up and down and mix all around. Just keep going the same pattern. It's all patterns. So we're going to go by nubs, okay? The first nub right here is part of the celiac trunk. Celiac trunk will have 3 branches. And in this view, we're not going to see its branches, but we'll see it in the cat, right? First branch, and they don't have to be in any specific order. Anyone know the branches of celiac trunk?
Left gastric.
Left gastric.
Hepatic.
Hepatic. And going to spleen. Splenic. You may also see the word pancreasplenic, just because it runs right along pancreas before it goes into spleen. So don't be surprised. So celiac trunk, first nub, 3 branches. Hepatic, left gastric, and splenic. Okay? Second nub, this is the artery that's going to supply the mesentery. The mesentery is all the connective tissue surrounding the small intestine and large intestine. So it is called the superior mesenteric artery. Okay? Superior mesenteric artery. And it's really just what's the nub off of this big, long, descending aorta. You can call this descending aorta, it just came up and around from the heart going down. You can call it abdominal aorta. Some people even call it dorsal aorta. It's just aorta, whatever you want to call it. So from here, we're going to branch for arteries into the kidneys. So it's just renal arteries. And keep going down. The next 2 little string-like structures you're going to have coming off of this. You see they're very stringy here. They're going to be going down into the gonads, whether that's ovaries, testes, whatever. So it's gonadal arteries. Okay? And I always wrote down little string-like structure. They're literally like so skinny strings. Like I don't even know how blood goes through it, but it does. Gonadal. Now, if we said this was superior mesenteric artery all the way up top, that leaves this one going down to large intestine, supplying blood to all that mesentery as inferior mesenteric artery. Okay? And then we have these branches going out by the lumbar region. Those are called iliolumbar arteries. So for most of these going off of the descending aorta, there's a vein that's coupled with it, and it's the exact same name. So if you have this region, you kind of look out. It's pretty easy. Celiac trunk doesn't have a couple. Superior mesenteric artery does not have a couple. But then right here, once you get to renal artery, there's also renal vein. The point of that is renal artery is bringing blood to the kidney to be processed and then drop off oxygen and then return back through the renal vein and go back up into the heart to get more oxygen, okay? Or through the lungs eventually. So renal vein is coupled with that. We'll keep going down. Gonadal artery is also going to have in blue next to it gonadal vein. Inferior mesenteric artery does not have a couple, but below that, we said this was what artery? Iliolumbar also has iliolumbar vein. So they're together. And that's 2 points. So you can say iliolumbar artery, iliolumbar vein. Renal artery, renal vein. Like that. So that kind of helps. Gonadal artery, gonadal vein. Okay. So just kind of to point out, we'll hit it later, but off of, this is all inferior vena cava here, coming down. And it's going to go up into the heart once it passes the diaphragm. But off of this, helping anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I just want to show you the leg region, and then we'll kind of answer some questions and get into the actual cat on the day. Alright? So, going down this descending aorta, you also have the inferior vena cava. What did we say these two were coming out either side by the lumbar region? Iliolumbar, cool. So now we're here. We're going to have two branches. This is making this first V like that. So it's going to be a V here, a second V underneath it, and then it's going to have this connector piece that looks like that there. The first V is the external iliac arteries. And then you're going to have this communicating branch coming down through here, which will extend down, and it's going to be the sacral artery. I think you guys have it on your list as caudal. That's fine. Caudal meaning tail. So if that was external iliac artery, now we're going to have a branch coming down here. Okay? And that should be internal iliac. This external iliac, once it passes the femoral ring, there's like this ring right here of connective tissue that they have to go through. There's going to be a big name change, and it's going to change. It's the same pipe, but it's going to change from external iliac to femoral artery and vein, or femoral artery next to it is the vein. And this guy going out to the outside of the cat, this cat is sitting with its like legs open, just like our cats are on its back. This is the lateral femoral artery. Lateral femoral circumflex artery. Because it's circulating around the femur. So if you want to think of bone structure, the femur bone is here, so it's femoral artery. Femoral vein. Okay, so cats have this really long saphenous vein, and they're going to extend, once we're at about the knee region, it's going to keep going down really long. Sorry, this one up here should have been deep femoral. So we have lateral femoral circumflex, and then deep femoral, deep going medial, and this is all femoral. And then you have the saphenous vein here, saphenous artery. So basically that's the really stringy one that's very, very superficial on most cats. Most of the time it's been cut and it's just kind of hanging there. So you may have to kind of find it and pick it up. But if you have a cat and you're like, it's been cut, you can just say where it went